Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Cricket for Us. And today we have finally gotten our Super 12 contenders. First off, we've got Group 1, where we have England, Australia, West Indies, and South Africa. And now we have Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Oh, to be honest, I didn't think this was the group of death until now. This is genuinely the group of death now. These sides are so packed. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh do have a pretty good fame to be able to beat these other teams. So very excited about it. And honestly, the way Bangladesh has played throughout round one has been quite impressive. Yes, they lost to Scotland, with Scotland and mostly Chris Greaves absolutely hammering him with getting 45, taking a few wickets. But all in all, Bangladesh has had a fantastic time of it. And why? Because Mr. Shakib Al Hasan is performing right now. He is the third highest run getter in the tournament so far, and he's the highest wicket taker with 9 wickets. Obviously, Bangladesh's other players will need to perform consistently. Mohammad Naeem scored a really good 60 in one game and then got a duck afterwards. Sumit Sarkar is not getting a chance as much as some people would like. And on top of that, I gotta mention one thing. Mustafizur Rahman is not bowling up to his potential, and he will definitely look to do that moving forward into the Super 12s. He is a gem of a bowler. I'm just surprised that he hasn't performed better throughout this T20 World Cup. His economy is 11. A bowler of that caliber, don't expect it. And Taskin Ahmed, brilliant bowling. Pace as anything. Bowling 144, 145 on a regular. Fantastic. And then I got to talk about Mehdi Hasan, because the way he bowled against Scotland was outstanding. Again, throughout round one, he's just bowled spectacularly well. So kudos to him, and kudos to Bangladesh for getting into the Super 12s. I got to talk about Sri Lanka as well. They have been exquisite. And by exquisite, I mean they have been wonderful. They have been fantastic. Theeksana has just impressed like crazy with the ball, but I'm not going to talk about him. I'm actually going to talk about one guy, Wanindu Hasaranga. This guy has been good for Sri Lanka, been great for Sri Lanka. And once again, he has been great. He has bowled well, and he has come in dangerous and difficult situations and scored runs for them. He is kind of fulfilling that role that Shakib Al Hasan does for Bangladesh. And look at Hasaranga. He's a young guy. By young, I mean not as experienced as someone like Shakib. So honestly, Hasaranga, what a player. And the more I talk about him, the more I realize I need to talk more about him, because he's that good. And we cannot disregard the pace bowlers. And I'm telling you, I did not know that Chamera could also hit 147, 148 Ks, but he is. So Chamera and Kumara, both of them hitting 90 plus miles an hour deliveries, but also the fact that they have bowled so well throughout round one that I've almost got it settled in my mind that Australia, England, West Indies are going to struggle against this Sri Lankan bowling lineup, because the pace that they have, and then Hasaranga, then you have Dhananjay De Silva, you've got Dasun Shanaka. They've got a lot of brilliant players in that team. They're definitely in the group that would benefit them the most. So Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, they're going to be good, and I can't wait. And hold up. I didn't even mention the fact that they bowled out Netherlands for 44. Hasaranga with 3 wickets, Theeksana with a couple in that one over that he bowled, and then Lahiru Kumara. Oh, I love the way he bowls, man. He's so quick. He's so deadly. Freaking 3 overs, 7 runs, and gets 3 wickets. Absolutely obliterate the Netherlands batting lineup. It's awesome. It's awesome. Sri Lanka, oh my goodness. Sri Lanka are going to have a field day. And if we move across to Group 2, which means we have the 2 qualifiers, which was kind of unexpected, because Scotland got through to that win against Bangladesh and then absolutely walking through PNG and Oman to get here. Okay, Scotland have been wonderful this entire tournament so far. The skipper has not done too much barring the last game, so he would want to keep performing. Kurtzur is an absolutely brilliant batsman, just not been as consistent. However, Matthew Cross, the keeper, 1 down batsman, he has been consistent. He's been that glue in the middle order. And then they've got the firepower of Richie Berrington, who comes in and just in 2 games now, he's come in and bashed it like 150, 160 strike rate easy and got them home. So he's been wonderful for the Scottish. And I can't believe Ireland is not getting through, by the way, right? Scotland started back when they did in like the late 90s, right? And then Ireland grew up, and Ireland overshadowed Scotland for so long. And now Scotland's like, nah, we actually qualified for the Super 12s because Ireland lost to Namibia by 8 wickets. I don't want to say that it's just because of David Wissa, but it might just be because of David Wissa. He scored a fantastic 50 in the second game, right? Scored 28 of 14 in the third game, right? He's picked up wickets. He's dove like crazy, fielded brilliantly. This ex-Proteas player is definitely benefiting the Namibians because Namibia is the final team to get into the Super 12s. Something I did not expect. And the cricket connoisseur would be super, super excited about this. I'm just jubilant as anything. I'm telling you, fantastic performance by Namibia. First, restricting Ireland to what, 125, 126? Paul Sterling, Kevin O'Brien, Bal Burney, right? Curtis Camphor. They've got so many great names in that batting lineup, controlling those guys, picking up wickets, and then batting like bosses. Just an honorable mention on the Scottish front. Josh Davey right now taking 8 wickets in the tournament, and he has been spectacular for these guys. They've just got really good bowlers, and I said this on the Cricket Analyst as well, that Scotland's bowling is where I think Scotland's going to win. They've got really good batsmen, but their bowling is their strong suit. Safian Sharif is such a great bowler. It's really difficult to go away from him. And they've got players like Josh Davey, like I said, 8 wickets already in the tournament. Then they've got Chris Greaves, who again won them that match. Who again won them that match against Bangladesh. Scotland and Namibia will not be easy goes. All right, they're not going to be once again the team that just loses every single match. They're still going to show some sort of great. I've got a feeling that Scotland and Namibia are going to show great fight in this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull off an upset. I think Scotland has a pretty good chance of pulling off at least one upset. Hopefully not against Pakistan, but I'm sure they will because of the quality of cricket they're playing. Their fielding has been very impressive too, which is something that if I look at Scotland's fielding, it's like, yeah, teams like New Zealand and Australia, South Africa would be impressed, would be happy with it. England even, right? India, like all the good fielding nations would be like, yeah, that they've got something in them, and they've definitely shown it in round 1. Final points I want to make before I end this video. Oman was impressive up to an extent, but it just seems like the jump up from completely associate nations into the World Cup was a bit too much. They will need to work on their fielding particularly, but just a little bit on their bowling and batting. They're way too dependent on Jatinder Singh and Akib Ilyas at the top of the order. Jatinder Singh is fantastic. Can't argue that, but they're way too dependent on those guys. Netherlands lost the matches, which I genuinely didn't think Netherlands was going to lose. I thought Netherlands was going to get through. So Netherlands have got all their team, all their squad, the best players they could find. They just weren't good enough. They couldn't gel as well as expected. You've got players like Van der Merwe, Tender Skata, who are fantastic in their own right, been great for so long. Fred Klaassen, right? There's so many players, but they just didn't gel well as a team, and unfortunately, that's why they were kicked out. And I want to mention Ireland because they've shown that they are still a great team, but they lost to Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka was just a better team. And with Namibia, it was David Wissa all the way, man. Honestly, the way these guys bowled against the Irish, controlling their entire batting performance, it was great. And then David Wissa with the bat, as I've mentioned over and over again, he has been great. Can't forget the fact that the captain actually scored. Erasmus scored a 50. Yes, it was, 110 striker. It didn't really matter. He scored a fantastic 50, guided them into the Super 12s. And last but not least, the team that I really don't want to forget, PNG, who were known for their fielding, who were known for Amire as the player who's had a family legacy of cricketers, right? Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull anything off. They lost all their games. They showed some fight in certain areas, but again, similar to Oman, they need a bit more refining before jumping into the World Cup, I'd say, moving forward. But great exhibition for teams that aren't usually cricketing nations to play cricket and perform so well on the grandest stage of them all. So it's fantastic. Very happy about that. But unfortunately, these 4 teams are not qualified. The other 4, which are qualified, they're going to start round 2, the Super 12s, tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please do let me know what you thought about this round 1 in its entirety in the comments below. Would love to read it. Thank you so much. Until next time, please take care.